Welcome, Pokemon players, to another episode of Discount Pokemon Decks. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, so we'll try to get through as much as I can with this deck. Today's deck is Xerneas Oranguru. I have done Xerneas and Xerneas Break in decks before. Sylveon EX, Mega Altaria. This is a very good card for fairy types. It does energy acceleration, much like Volcanion and some other cards do. So it's definitely a staple card for fairy types. Xerneas Break is a nice addition to it. It does 20 damage for each energy attached to all the energy attached to all your Pokemon. And the focal point of the deck is basically this life stream attack combined with Geomancy. There's really not much to it. Basically, you're going to put energy on your Pokemon and attack. But there's some cool synergy here. Previously I tried to use other Pokemon EX cards to pair with this. And Oranguru actually makes a pretty good pairing, a pretty good partner for this Xerneas. It can receive the energy, fairy energy. It can take double Colorless, which will enhance that attack. So there's lots of good synergy going on, in addition to the extra draw Oranguru gives you. I'm sure you're aware of the Instruct ability. You may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. So the idea is basically the focal point, obviously, to get energy on your Pokemon with Geomancy, and then use this Life Spear attack to attack. You can also use the attacks from Oranguru Psychic, which is 60, requires 3 energy, which is not that hard to do with this deck. 60 damage plus 20 for each energy on your opponent's Pokemon, or even the Rainbow Spear if your opponent pulls out something like Glaceon and you need to attack with the basic. You can use this Rainbow Spear for 100 damage. But we do have lots of cool synergy in this deck, and I think a lot of it has to do with basically the combination of these. And I made a video, I'm not sure if it's going to release before this or after, probably after, on basic how to build a deck video, and it talks about synergy a bit. And you can see you want a good partner that can capitalize on a lot of the same traits, and doesn't have to necessarily overlap exactly. It can be different, can be the opposite to cover the blind spots of your focal point. But this merges well. These cards merge really well together, and I hope we can see that in the games when I play them. But there's lots of cool synergy in this deck, and when you're building your deck out, that's what you want to think about, cards that work together. Obviously, Fairy Garden's a good card, and if your opponent tries to force Oranguru as your active, if you have a single energy on him with Fairy Garden, you can retreat. The double Colorless energy works well with Life Stream attack, even though I don't really want to attach it to the Xerneas unless I'm using this Rainbow Spear attack. By attaching it to Oranguru, that adds 40 damage per attack, so that's another kind of addition, synergy with the deck. Experience share, obviously I don't want my energies leaving the board if they don't have to. The more the energy stays on the board, the stronger the life stream gets. If my opponent knocks out my Pokemon and experience share, 1 or 2 of them can catch them, even better. So that's some synergy there. For Oranguru's Instruct ability, a lot of this works well. A lot of these cards work well with that ability. For instance, if I have a couple cards in my hand and I play a Fairy Garden, I can play an Ultra Ball to make my hand thinner. That helps Instruct, because again, the thinner my hand gets, the more powerful this Instruct works by drawing more cards. I also have some item cards here that will help out with that. Maintenance. So shuffle 2 cards back in your deck. So if you are close to, if you have 3 cards in your hand and one of them is Maintenance, play Maintenance, shuffle 2 cards back, so your hand will only have 1 card, the freshly drawn card. If you can play that, great, and play Instruct, you're going to get 3 cards. If not, it's going to help reduce your hand. It's going to help get cards out of your hand that you don't necessarily need. So if you had a Super Rod at the beginning of the game, obviously not a big thing to use. There are a lot of item cards to kind of help this Oranguru along, so it is a little susceptible to Garbodor, but we're doing one-shot damage as well with our Pokemon for the most part against that kind of deck. This can get can do a lot of damage very early if you calculate it. Nothing else particularly special about this deck. Because I have energy, acceleration, and geomancy, I don't really feel the need to have much energy cards. I do have this Super Rod to put both energy and Pokemon back in my deck. Brock's Grit as well. Draw is 7, 9. Just these 9 cards, but I do have 4 Trainer Mail and 4 V-Seeker, and Oranguru obviously helps with getting more cards into my hand as well, so I don't feel the need to really do excessive drawing. And again, a lot of this stuff, as long as I get 1 or 2, if I could start the game with a couple of Pokemon, I'm well on, and a single energy, I'm well on my way to just starting to attack, basically. Again, there's not much else to say about this deck. There's only 2 double colorless energy. We really don't want that much because it doesn't play well with Xerneas, so there's a little friction there. But for the most part, it does work well when it's on the Oranguru. And it does actually work well if you need it for the Rainbow Spear attack as well, or even to put on a Xerneas so that the active Xerneas has more damage when it attacks. That works as well. Very simple deck. And let's just get to the games, and we'll do that right after a short break. All right, here we go. Game number 1. Grass types always have me a little bit worried. What am I facing here? Lots of good grass decks these days. I won the coin flip. Now with this deck, no, I do not go first. Although maybe I should have with Vileplume potentially looming. Ooh, not a great hand, but we can make this work. Hopefully be able to get rid of enough cards to use Oranguru's ability. Oh, Sceptile, alright. So definitely, most likely not going to face Item Lock. We're going to draw another card. 2. Yeah, Sceptile deck. Excuse me, Superior deck. I am feeling a bit under the weather. And Area Dose. Interesting. Interesting combination. Yeah, I like Superior a lot. Wow, I'm really going to draw a whole bunch of cards here. I'm not even going to bother look at my opponent's deck here. But he should have at least 6, you would think, 5 or 6 basic with what I've seen. 4 for 4 Snivies, and you would think 2 Area Dose, so. This is a very nice hand now. But if he plays an N, it'll all go for naught, but still not bad. Getting that Fairy Garden out would be ideal. Oh, no N. Alright, so I'm going to keep this hand. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to play. Definitely Nest Ball. Definitely Max Elixir. Definitely my Stadium and put the energy on Oranguru. And then we'll figure it out from there. Yep. Again, I've said this in just about every video that I see it in. Choice Band is great if you're not playing if you're playing a discount deck. That's just nice to see. Uh-oh. We could be in trouble here. Paralyzed, bad. Alright, so I don't have a way to get Oranguru out. He may be toast there. But let's see what happens here. Thinking of putting another Oranguru. Ooh, nothing there. Alright, that's a waste. That's good. Let's do that. Let's separate it. So if we play this, wait, Stadium. I think the Lysandre is going to go. Well, let's see what Trainers Mail gives us. No point in using Experience Share yet. But you know what? I'm not going to use Birch either. I'm actually going to go with the Experience Share. And we're going to try to get another Oranguru. Why not? And I can even use his ability now. Maintenance would be nice here, I think. Nope, and I'm kind of stuck, so we'll stop here. You know, I should have realized my opponent would not be able to knock this Oranguru out, so I could still get an energy on him and retreat him. That coil I have to be careful of, because then the next attack will do 140, and will knock out a Xerneas. This is interesting. My opponent definitely got, despite all the mulligans, got a nice hand going. And with that Ultra Ball, you expect he's got a Revitalize or couple in his deck. Alright, so Shaman's coming out. I can even Lysandre that Shaman to stop the, if he uses the coil attack, to stop it from turning into a very damaging attack. And still get, oh, well, there goes that. Let's see what I get in this new hand. It should be interesting because we have kind of similar decks, just kind of one Pokemon attacking. And so we're going to have to go prize for prize. Though he does have a Shaman, and I'll be looking to knock that out at some point. And I have to be careful with the stadium. Most likely he's got 4. That's what I would do in that deck. Interesting. Super Rod. I would not expect to use that. Why not Revitalizer? And just put him right in your hand. Alright, so coil here. So I don't have the ability to play Shaman. I don't want to play this N. Let's oh, I'm so close to I don't want to play this N. What if I play Super Rod now? It's a little early. Let's just play Geomancy. Let's put it on those two. Yep. Ooh, running out of energy here. But I figure my opponent may knock this guy out. It's possible he'll get a Kukui or something like that and be able to knock out the Xerneas. So if he's smart, he'll use another coil attack because it won't knock me out anyway. I'll put this energy on him. Alright, Sycamore there, so he's doing a lot of discard. Where's his Revitalizer? And he may paralyze me with the Serpine. Sceptile 2 and air. Alright, so basically kind of like a green grass toolbox, I guess. But he's giving me some targets to aim at. Although with Ariados, I'm a little worried. That's interesting. Another Shaman? Or an Ariados. Oh, that'll knock me out. Yep, alright, there he goes. So that'll knock him out. I'll be able to use a Super Rod. I'll put an energy on one of these guys. Yeah, the Superior is good because it doesn't help the Oranguru. Just a single energy. I'm only doing 80 damage. Oh, he forgot to do his... Oh, he couldn't. Oh, that's good for me. So let's He did 100 damage. That means he did coil again. I don't want to play this N. I can retreat, and I don't want to use this Xerneas. Wow, I'm a little bit in a... Well, if I put an energy on him, I have 2, 4, 5, 6, 120. Not enough to knock him out. If I retreat, he can knock this guy next turn out. So let's do this. And we're just going to have to sit and wait. Unfortunately, I don't want to end and give my opponent a fresh new hand. So we'll live stream. So he'll knock me out. I'll knock him out. And should be still a little bit even there. I'll get this energy back. I'll put another energy on Oranguru or this guy. play my Super Rod. I do not want to play N and give my opponent any cards if I don't have to. Should have enough to use one of these guys' abilities. And the thing is, I don't want to really attack with these Orangurus yet because it'll make my Xerneas weaker. So I'll knock him out and we'll see what happens. Ah, that's good. I'm still going to play the Super Rod. I want to get these cards back in my deck. 1, 2, 3. Ah, I can play Oranguru. And the cool thing about having two of these guys is you can do one and then the other. So, yep, that didn't really help that much, unfortunately, but... Alright, heads. There we go. Look at this. This is nice. Let's get... another Xerneas out. Let's put experience share on them. Yeah, might as well use the Trainer's Mail and see what I got. Lysandre will be helpful. Let's target some of these guys. So we'll knock out the Superior. Then who are we going to target? Should we go after Ariados and make his Sceptile weaker? We're going to have to retreat this guy in a second. Except I don't have the ability to knock out Ariados very easily. Oh, here comes another N. My opponent's struggling with the draw a little bit. That surely helped me out. I'll take 5 cards, doesn't matter. What matters is that he has a new hand, so that's going to hurt me. He needs another energy for the Sceptile. And I'm glad the Stadium's here and I have one in my hand, because I'm going to probably retreat this guy. I'll have 10 damage left. I have a Lysandre here, too. I should oh no, I'm not going to survive this. The Fighting Fury Belt. Oh, wait. Oh, he did not have the energy. Alright, we're going to retreat. We are going to retreat. To who? To Oranguru? I will get these at least 2 of these energy back, so it's not such a bad idea. Should I Lysandre this guy? His Ariados? Knock out his Snivy? What would you do? I'm going to retreat here. We'll go with the fresh Oranguru. Put a single energy on him. I think I'm going to go after this Snivy here. Well, you know what? I'm actually going to go after this because he's got to use an energy to get this guy out of here. So that means he still can't put it on the Sceptile. And if he doesn't get this energy on him, Oranguru will knock him out. I'll put this double Colorless on this Oranguru, I think. If he does knock him out, I'm going to get energy on these guys. So he gained himself some time with that. Yeah, I may put the... No. I want to spread out this energy. Should I put the double Colorless on the Oranguru or one of the Xerneases? Alright, and again. So he's going to put a single energy on this guy to retreat him. What do I have in here? Just 1 energy. So I have the ability to call him back, but right now my Oranguru is unable to do damage. So that's the power of this this Servine. And he's got 2 more here. Yep, he is going to retreat and come after me. Should poison first. I guess doesn't matter. Yep. If he retreats, I'm going to call him back. No, he doesn't retreat. Interesting. If I had a switch here, that he would be in trouble. All right. I don't think I'm going to need Brock's Grit soon. We're going to hold on to the V-Seeker. I should have probably done the N. So next turn he's going to retreat and then knock this guy out. There's not all that much I can do with it. Let's play this. Another V-Seeker, so let's try to not find the right guy to knock out. I think this looks crazy, but it feels right. Oh, what the heck. Alright, so we're going to go with this. Oranguru has not had a lot of success this game, mostly because I'm not playing my ends, because my opponent doesn't have a good hand, good drawing. A couple times he's been like dead draw. I don't want to give him new cards. I could always go with Birch, but... And again, so he's giving me fresh cards every turn. A fresh hand. This is one of the downsides to having so much N and relying on it so much. Oh, this is nice. 1, 2. If he knocks this Oranguru out, I could even save a turn and use Brock's Grit. But I've got to figure out what to how to deal with all his threats here. He's got a lot of threats. I'm going to put this as my active Pokemon, I think. Because I can retreat with Fairy Garden. I need an energy. That's problem number 1. I can play these two. And then Brock's Grit. And then you... Wow, this is tough. How much energy is in here? Only 2. So really Brock's Grit's not going to... Most of my energy is on the board. So I can't really rely on that to get it back for me. With Ariados, 160, 130, 140, 150, he's one-shotting me. So do I just knock out Ariados? Well, he can do the same with these guys. This is interesting. I have a little dilemma here. I could go with the Oranguru. He hasn't really been a factor much this game. I do have a Sycamore in my hand. And he'll do a decent amount of damage. He'll do 60, 100 damage. How much? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 160. Yeah, let's just go with these guys. So, what do I do here? Let's wait till he gets knocked out and play Brock's Grit. Right? There's only, how much energy? 2 energy. There's not much there. So if he wants to attack me with this Sceptile, I'm going to knock him out and claim 2 prize cards. And we'll be even at 3, but not too happy with this. Just falling a little short in this Ariados hurt me. And if he knocks this guy out, even still only, well, 2 energy, so I'll have 4 energy. I'll have enough on this Xerneas to knock out a lot of, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 120. See, he could put another Servine down and see if it paralyzes me. Escape and then attack. Nope, Super Rod again. Where's Revitalizer in this deck? Not really sure what to do next. He's gonna knock. If he knocks this guy out, I almost have to Brock's Grit now. And then I can even Ultra Ball, or I can Lysandre. Well, or I can Lysandre this guy. But I think without Sceptile, Ariados is not a huge problem. So I'm not that concerned. I don't know if these two are really worth it in this deck. Although you can see the Ariados has helped knocking me out, so... Alright, basic energy. So I'm going to knock out the Sceptile and then... Let's get all our cards back in the deck. I'm going to keep the V... This is going to sound crazy. How many V-Seekers do I have? No, I'm going to get rid of the V-Seeker. And next turn I'll Sycamore and hopefully have a nice hand to deal with. I may even get some cards here with Oranguru. So finally you're seeing Oranguru really come into play. Alright. Let's do that. So 120 there. Pick up 2 prize cards. That Rod will be helpful after if he knocks out the Xerneas Break, which he won't actually. So I feel like the momentum's slightly shifting, unless he paralyzes me. All right, that's good. So next turn I'll play him. Super Rod will not help at all. But I'll play Sycamore anyway. I don't want to play the Super Rod. I don't really think I need to pick up an Oranguru. Wow, this is a long going game. It's like 20 times longer because I'm not feeling all that well. But I think my opponent's going to start running out of options here. And which is he going to use? Is he going to coil me? A V-Seeker would be great, and I could just go after one of his bench. I'd probably go after this guy just to get rid of the coil effect. Or does he do Slashing Strike? In the thought that I'm going to generate 140 damage on my next turn. Oh, there's an N. Okay. And cool thing about N, late game N with Oranguru, really doesn't hurt that much. Alright, there's the Lysandre. So let's see what he does. If he does coil, I'm going to Lysandre maybe this guy. Then I'm 1 away from victory. Yep. Alright, that doesn't bother me that much. He'll knock out that guy. I'm going to get those energy, or at least one of those energy back. Let's play... Yep, so Lysandre that Shaman. That Shaman is a liability. I'm just going to play this to get it out of my hand. I don't expect anything to be there. Nope. And I have another V-Seeker. I can Lysandre Ariados next. I think this is pretty much in the bag. Although he could discard my hand, but I have Oranguru here, so even if I go down to 1, he'd have to somehow play in and Lysandre Oranguru, and I don't think that's happening. And I did negate the coil's effect of doing 60 this turn, so he may survive. Probably not. I would think Slashing Strike would be the way to go, but I'm going to Lysandre this Ariados. So I think this is in the books. So I think you got a good idea of how this deck works. Oranguru usually is a little bit more effective in this deck, but because we were trying not to draw cards, as you can see, my opponent's still down to 1 card here. I would definitely... I mean, you've seen my superior deck. I'm not thrilled about having Ariados and Sceptile EX in there. I think these EX is a liability. Basically, I knocked out 2 of them. If he was just going with superior, I think this would be a much stronger deck. Yep. And this game is over. I'm going to play this energy anyway. And then I'm going to Lysandre that area dose, and this game's over. So good game of my opponent. Definitely. Oh. So I'm sorry, folks. I'm just not really feeling that well. So we're going to cut it here. But I think you get a good idea of what this deck's about. The idea is that this Xerneas can generate a lot of damage, and you do want to do 2 for 1. My opponent's deck allowed me to do that. I think the Sceptile EX was misplaced in that deck, but nonetheless, I think our deck played well. I think we got a good idea of what goes on. I think Oranguru was helpful at times, not as helpful as I've seen in other games against other decks. It's going to vary. This deck plays pretty well. I would rate it as pretty good. I would play this happily in a tournament or something like that. But although you never know what the meta's out there, so I think there's a lot of good synergy between these cards, between a lot of the other cards here, Maintenance, Ultra Ball, even the energies worked out. Getting double colorless down allowed me to do more damage, which ultimately is, I think, what really helped kind of tip the balance. I was losing a little bit, but once I knocked out a Sceptile EX, it was all downhill from there. The draw seems very fine. I mean, the Oranguru more than makes up for not having, let's say, 10 supporters, but I think that and keeping the energy on the board, Xerneas accelerating the energy really helps this deck out. You don't really have to draw all that much because there's just so many ways to get more cards in your hand, so it's not a huge deal. So that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you'll know when our next video is released. Also, check out our playlists where you can find videos by topics like mill decks or cheap EX decks.